Hello everyone, welcome to another video where I share some of the progress I'm making on the game I'm trying to build that I've called SnowStorm that I'm building in LÖVE 2D. So last video I think I shared kind of a status of what the game looked like so far, and I thought it would make sense to share what it looked like and then share some of the enhancements that I've made and what I'm trying to build towards. So to start us off, let me pull up the game. I need to navigate to my directory. Oop. First game, here we go. Oop. So quick recap, the game, essentially you're this skier and you're trying to get down the mountain by going through these different gates. Every time you go through a gate, you score a point. And you're kind of restricted to only being able to ski in the white part of the map. And you see the gates are going faster and faster, but the background doesn't really move, it's just the gates that are kind of moving up. And there's some power-ups that don't really work. And if you hit the gate, then you lose. And so one of the things that I kind of really wanted to do was try to make the map bigger so that you weren't restricted to just this area here, and like this I could potentially add more things or obstacles that you would have to essentially avoid or dodge as you kind of make your way down. So essentially what I did is I drew this background. It was an image 400 pixels by 600 pixels. And I was trying to figure out, like, how can I make this scrollable and kind of like a platformer, think like Mario. And what I've learned is essentially you can procedurally generate the world. And what that means is essentially instead of having an image a static image that I essentially putting the skier and objects and I make them move on top of that image, I can create or generate an image and have these other images as part of that map. And essentially I'm no longer restricted to 400 by 600 pixels as like the base image. I can make that as much as I want, and then I just anchor a camera on top of the main player or the skier and then have him move along the map. And so let me show you what that looks like. And I'm pretty proud. This was quite a big update. So let me pull that up. It still has the background, and then you'll see. Oop. All right, let me select the skier. And so now what you can see is you've got a skier. There's no more background. There's no more mountain background, but there's like this row of trees. And if I keep scrolling to the right, you see another row of trees. And essentially, that's like my map. Now I'm essentially, it looks like I'm either zoomed in more or essentially have a much bigger map. And that kind of gives me a lot more space to kind of build or add objects or obstacles. So I could have like my flags kind of moving up to the skier, but I could also have, logs or trees or bears or animals kind of like running up at the skier, and that kind of gives you like a way bigger world to kind of work in. And essentially you can like procedurally generate this with the code. So I'm pretty excited to kind of get my hands into some of that, where essentially I start adding a lot more objects on the map. And hopefully with that, I can also start adding some animation to the character. Because right now it's just kind of like the static skier that is moving left and right. I'm hoping to kind of add a little bit more, I guess, personality to the main character. Another thing that's kind of like interesting. So in the original version of this, the skier was like really stuck. Like you couldn't scroll past left or right. Now, like that doesn't exist. Like you can just fly off the map essentially. Because there's no collisions. So that's another thing I need to fix. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to keep learning and hopefully get a cool game put together. So yeah, this is kind of a quick update. I think, as I'm learning more on the programming side, I'm hoping to start sharing a little bit some of that, like kind of like the learning journey. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.